I was reading online about Louis Vuitton and I read that like recently, I guess the store, like the actual like storefront in San Francisco got like vandalized and broken into and like looted, which is really sad. And I guess they were having like, I don't know, like open fighting in the streets of like crazy people stealing from the store and like the police and like other people. And I thought that was like super crazy. Like it makes me think a lot about like, because I talk to people sometimes about like theft prevention and um, like how to secure things and security and those types of things, like because they have a mall locally, but also like just like all the online stuff too. Like because I bought some stuff like off an app on my phone, but then like the phone like when I tried to log into the app, it like wouldn't let me into the app, and I thought that's kind of weird because like if you bought stuff from it and then you can't log in, doesn't really make sense. Um, so I was like, wow, that's like really sad, like that they would steal a bunch of merch, and then so I was like, you know, I wonder if like at a corporate level, like does that affect like the price of like those exact styles or those exact fashions, like as far as like um like selling them in other stores, like if all the ones at that store got stolen, like are the other ones more expensive? Do they discount them because they know that some people have them from being stolen, you know? Um so I was like thinking about all of that, and like because I was looking at, I know that like some of the, I live in kind of a rural area, and so most of the brand items like are usually either secondhand or people from out of the area. And so like I was looking at after I bought stuff off that app, it was like I saw in one of the local stores that's now closed, they had like a one of these Chanel bags, and I thought, that's a really cute bag, and that's the first time like in person that I've seen that brand, because I hadn't really thought about going to the store, but I got a magazine sample, like they have like those little samples of like foundation in the magazine, and so I was like, ooh, that's a great idea, I'm trying to like expand my horizons. And so I was like, maybe I want to get some of that makeup, and so then I got some of the makeup, and then they sent like a free little tiny tube of like the mascara, and I was like, wow, I really like this mascara, because I've always been like somebody who wears mascara, and I was like going through this phase where I was like, I don't want to wear makeup, like, and I'm like, I'm sick in the head, I need to go to see a brain doctor. So I went and saw the brain doctor, and then I remembered my brain, and then I was like, I need my makeup back. So I really like the Chanel formula. It's like really nice. I've bought it continuously. The price just went up like a few dollars. So that's like, thus is life. But it's different from like when I was growing up and I'm like buying Revlon or Maybelline, and it's like $9.99 for like, waterproof mascara. And but since then I'm like being more mature, and it's like to have the regular basic mascara is kind of like my recommitment to like my own needs, as far as like, I don't want to be outside in the rain. I don't want to be around a man who's like trying to make me cry. I should be able to do my makeup and like let it be. It's fine, I got in an argument with this guy. He was trying to be mean to me. He's like, "Why are you wearing Why are you wearing makeup?" And I was just like, "I'm in my 30s. Like, I'm allowed to wear makeup." And and then it made me think, like, like, oh, if we were gonna have kids, like, when is it appropriate, like, for girls to wear makeup, Because in society and culture, they'll be like, oh, it's fine for anybody at any point to wear makeup. Even dudes can wear makeup. And I'm like, no, I don't agree. I don't agree at all. I think it's an ego play that is anti-feminine because what you're doing is showing a man as feminine, and that's inappropriate because um, it's actually conditioning the female to not want makeup rather than making her want makeup. Like for example, if I had never been a member of my own family and seen my grandma and my aunt like wearing makeup, wearing lipstick, doing their eye makeup, or my best friend growing up with her like foundation and all of that, um, if all I saw was like the current trends of like I'm effeminate, and then you're like you have a penis, like it's like you're doing your makeup and you have a penis, like that's inappropriate. um I wouldn't want makeup. I'd be like, I'm boycotting the brand, I'm not buying any of your shit, like I don't want that, I don't need it, I don't need it, right? So then like when this marriage happened, I've talked about this, I'm going to talk about it extensively, but this marriage happened, and it's like, it's like the two people, their gender identities are like anti-normative. So it's like the girl thinks she's a guy and is like chopped off her tits and is like being a masculine, and then the guy is like super feminine and is like, I am hotter than the sun. And so I was like, hey, guess what? I look like that. So, except I don't have a penis, right? So I was like, I can't let these people beat me in the realm of reality. Like in reality, it's like they need me, right? It's like when you face the outer wall of society and the world, like you're telling me that these are images that you want, but what you're mistaking is that you're saying that you want them in the inverse function. So it's like you need to be able to take a step back and realize that there is a male female component that do match, and that they do need support and to sustain. But like when I was in a relationship previously, like I was like, oh, I'm super, like talkative and outgoing, and I met this guy that was like the captain of the soccer team, and I really liked him and he was really fun to be around. But when we got into the confines of our own house without like wedding ring and like family support, it's like it was really detrimental to me, to him, to like the people around us that saw us as a really good couple. But then we ended up breaking up because we didn't have the foundational needs of like just actual reality of like, if you want a relationship to sustain, it's like you have to actually invest the time and the energy and the resources into sustaining that relationship. So it's like, even though you think in your like, youthful brain, like, oh, we're going to be in love forever, we're going to be so happy. It's like without a diamond wedding ring, without, a real contract, without housing agreements, it's like, if you're not going down the right path, you're going down the wrong path. So it's like, sometimes you can conglomerate people into like, if you're going down the wrong path and then you find that there is somebody over there that does match them and that is why they're going down that path. It's like, can you recoup that? Can you bring it back to the reality of the family and the rest of the people in society, instead of letting all of our assets, like the Louis Vuitton store, it's like our assets are suddenly out in the street. We're like, what do we do? Um, so, whether they can recoup those bags or if they're, valued and owned by people who thought that they needed them, it's kind of one of those quandaries into, you live in a society and you trust that people aren't going to commit crime. But that's the world we live in. It's like when people choose to sit around and do drugs instead of, going out in the world and creating what they want for themselves. It's kind of frustrating in that regard, because, you don't expect those things to happen. So it's kind of, what element is missing that they needed, or is it just, a spilling over of culture and society in general, that there's these market pressures and there's no, pressure release valve, and so you have crime as a form of release rather than, actual engagement with the whatever it is, whether it's the government, the bourgeoisie, the, you know, uh, whatever other types of organizations. So I was just thinking about that because, it's difficult when you're faced with all of these pressures. Like, for example, I'm wearing this necklace. It's like this little heart chain thing, and that actress, or not actress, what is it? That singer. She's a Swede, and she in her film, in her music video, she takes her necklace and she pulls it off her neck, and I was like, that's not okay. Like, she's gonna go missing. And so I was like, I'm gonna put my chain on because, I'm not from Sweden, but my last name is Swedish. Like, I have Swedish heritage. And so I was worried about them because, there's, like I said, these market pressures that are like, we want to go out and party, we want to have them singing and dancing and doing all these things, and as a white person, as American, it's been difficult and challenging for me, just in general, because in our culture, like the way that I was raised, it's like, you don't have that much like chaos, right? It's like, there isn't that criminal element, I feel like if you're in your own family. And so it's other people's families that is like a problem and a condition that needs to be like addressed and dealt with, because those are high risk arenas, right? It's like being a singer, that's really high risk. But it doesn't have to be, right? Like, you can take certain measures and do certain things to assure people that you've thought about those risks. So, like, lately, I was having an issue with my phone. Is like somebody's on my interface, and there is like a concern that somebody else is trying to utilize my device, and it's my device, and it's what I paid for. So, you have these little trick kids that think that they can go out and steal things from people, and really it's an overarching program. Like, when I was in college, they were like describing like, oh, I have my computer and my phone, and I can just log into my account. And I was like, and then they're like, oh, and you log in on all your devices of the same thing. And I was like, no, I just have it here right now. And they're still trying to get me to like develop more than I have. And I'm like, oh, so you can steal it and multiply it on your end? No. So that's been an issue. Because I have my device that I program the way I want it. Like, my old computer, like over here somewhere, it just recently like it's gone. Like, the computer interface is deceased. And I called them, I think, last year before June, and they were like, that's a really old computer. And I was like, yeah, it is. And then this year, it's like, I turned on the computer and it was like not engaging. I was like, where is it? And they were like, I was like, maybe I'll deal with it later. And then like I tried again, and it's like not there. And I'm like, oh. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just use this computer, right? And I'm like, but I don't like this interface as much. Like, it's not as what the computer is for. So I'm kind of doing this like social experiment of doing like my own little talkie on the YouTube channel or whatever, to keep myself occupied during like this social experiment of living by myself, because living by myself is not super fun for me, especially, well, because it's like when I can't host, I find life like really dull, because I'm the type of person that likes to host. Like, going to other people's party, I'm like, oh, it's fun, but I'm like not having a lot of fun. I like being the person that's like, Oh, you came to see me? Awesome. um, so yeah, it's been kind of rough in that regard, but um, I think like the I pulled a necklace off my neck one time. It was my sister had traded me my silver locket, um, and then lost it. So I had sent her back the locket that she had traded me. Like we had matching lockets for my grandma, and I was like, "Listen, guy, your black onyx locket is not mine. It belongs to my sister because she lost the white one that was mine." And so when I sent her that, that's when I decided to get this one because it's like, oh yeah, I overcame silver and I got gold and it's okay now. Like, because like in my silver locket, I had put a couple of my boyfriend's pictures, right? Like I had one boyfriend and then I had another boyfriend. And that's not really what you do with like your family items, right? Um, so I decided to put this other guy in this one so that he could like trump them, be like, you don't even exist, you don't even matter, I don't even want you. Because the two of them decided that they wanted to marry other people, and I was like, why did I even put them in my locket? That's so stupid. Which is funny because one of them has a brother named Oliver, so then my sister had a son and she named him Oliver. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna send her the locket because it's her problem that they are all crazy. And she lives in the Los Angeles area, so she's like very aware of like what is crazy. Um, and up here's gotten a little better as far as like getting people that want to be here rather than like just like people that are doing drugs, which is like something that people up here, it's like you would think they had like a drug rehab center, um, but I've only heard of like one locally, and then I think there was one like in Utah or in like the East Coast or something. Um, I had like it was kind of like drug rehab, but it was like a county. It was like a count. It wasn't a county hospital. It was like I mean, it was kind of like what my apartment's modeled after. Like it's like a short term care facility, um, except you couldn't like go near anybody. Like it was like you need to be 3 feet away from anybody else. And it was funny because there was this short girl and she was all scared. I was all freaking out. And then there was this short girl and she was all scared. And so they had like a closet with like a bunch of clothes so that if you didn't have any clothes to change into, you could wear some clothes that they had there at the facility. And so I was like, oh, these ones look like they would fit you. And I like put them on her. And and I had like given her a hug, like just like, so it'll be okay, you know? And and that was kind of like what was needed because like it was kind of like a scary experience. Like you're just like at this place and you know, they're like you can't get near anybody, you can't do anything. Like here's your pills at the window, you know, it's like two fleas over the cuckoo nest and I'm chief, you know? Like, whoa, what's gonna happen? Like crazy people. And but I mean it wasn't that extreme. Like it was a smaller facility and it was a little bit I don't know, there was like a crazy old French woman. She was like yelling and stuff. It was weird. And so I was like, how am I gonna do what I wanna do, you know? And so there was like some little like Hispanic girl and we only had like shampoo, conditioner. No, we didn't even have that. It was like toothpaste and some lotion. And I was like, and so she starts doing her hair. She like takes the skin lotion and she starts like putting it in her hair. And I was like, oh yeah, I need conditioner for my hair. And and then I was like, I'm gonna go read a magazine, you know, because they had like CDs and music and books, but like my brain was like totally fried from like this music festival I'd gone to, where like one of my exes was there, and I was like not wanting to see him because he was violent, and I was like not having it. Um, he was like trying to do drugs and like be crazy, and then trying to tell me like, "Oh, this is your house, Mariah," and we were at somebody else's house, and I was like, so I was like, I'm not gonna go talk to him. I'm gonna avoid him because if he's with some other girl, I would be really upset. And so now he's like engaged to somebody else because I told him, you better fucking marry somebody because I'm not gonna sit around and be single my whole life. And so then I had to go to the hospital, and they were like, and there was a woman there, and she was like I did methamphetamine, that's why I work at the hospital now. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't respond when I was in the experience of like talking or hearing from all these people, like, like, don't worry, you'll get there, like it'll be okay, I was like, I was like, I don't know, I don't, like that scares me, like I'm not that type of person, and so I had like done these drugs with this guy, like I'm like not trying to do drugs, right? Like it was not really my cup of tea, and so I was like, what do I do, And so they took me from the hospital to like this. Well, there was two instances actually, because there was the instance when I had gone to the music festival, and I went to the hospital, and then I went to the short-term care facility. But then they drove me back over to my mom, and then my mom, I was like, I'm gonna go like wherever, I want to be by myself, like in the forest. And she was like, you're not going by yourself anywhere. You need to come right back. So she called the cops on me. The cops were like, you're not being arrested. Um, you're being held on, it's like a 5150, and that's like you're being a threat to yourself or another. And that's, I guess that's true. I mean, if I want to go be by myself, that's accurate, right? I'm like, I want to be by myself, leave me the fuck alone. And they're like, no, you're coming back, stop it. So then, like, they take me to this other facility because that was only a few days, and then it was like 2 weeks at this other facility, like locally, and that was like where these other weird people had been. I guess that was like part of like my decompression of like going through a litigation, like of going through like a divorce. But it was like I didn't have a wedding ring, I didn't have a white dress, I didn't have like, a wedding ceremony with my family. So like technically that's kind of like getting stolen. Um, so when my brain started functioning again more recently, it was like, I don't want these things to happen to the people that I care about. Like, not to say that it's a bad thing that happened. I mean, like the recovery process is long and arduous. But the experience of having to like go through that was a little bit traumatic, that I wasn't thinking about myself to begin with. And so like going through that process of being like, no, you're not going to go hang out with so and so. No, you're not going to, think that he's coming back for you. No, you're not going to believe that he didn't steal from you. You know that he did. You know that he didn't care. You know that he's interested in other people. And so I really had to just like kind of stop and remember that you need to focus on yourself. You need to care about yourself. You need to think about yourself. And you need to believe in your ability to succeed, because although there are all these different things that people have been through, and there's all these experiences that you don't want to talk about with people, there's ways around talking about it. So it's like, I didn't want to talk about this experience, but then, when Paris Hilton just got married recently, and in the process of her getting to her wedding day, she had to talk to the government in Utah because she had been in a school there where she was getting beat up, and it wasn't okay. So like, I was playing cards with the girls there. They had some of the Catholic girls from like the nursing program or something locally. Um, and one of them reminded me of my best friend, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I don't have a response. Like, no, the answer is no, no, I wasn't okay. Um, but like, that's kind of like, my internal program isn't one that I'm gonna talk about all these problems. It's like I'm gonna be like, I want to get better. I like it when people that I or that are familiar that I know want to play a game, or if they want to come and talk to me or take care of me, that's a positive, right? Um, but it's not positive if they're all working and I'm stuck in some locked facility. That's not normal. Um, so it was kind of a difficult time in my life, and I guess that was kind of like when I started remembering, like, like high fashion and stuff, like because I was trying to get dressed every day, and then the people there are like, it's not like it's a fashion show, and I was like, a little bit. Like, cause you have like all these people you don't know, and you're allowed to get dressed. So like, wouldn't you want to get dressed? I would. Um, but they were kind of like trying to dress me like, I don't know. I guess I haven't really been dressed lately. Like as far as, um, it's like clothes that my elder generation would wear, like more like loose fitted pants, or like it's kind of like, I guess in the spectrum of things, it's kind of like more like Republican, as far as uh, like what type of garb is needed or appropriate, right? Like whether it's a brand or if it's just clothes that you want. Like I was in there actually. I think there was an Indian lady, like another Indian lady that was like, she's like, I'm gonna go do drugs with my friends. And I was like, oh no. But I was trying to be nice. I like gave her one of my shirts. It was like this, but it was like green. It wasn't olive green. It was just like regular green, like but like forest green. And it was like a cute shirt. It had like little like kind of pattern on, not pattern, but a design. Um, and I was like, that's my favorite shirt. I'm always giving away my favorites. I need to stop doing that. Like my little orange Nepalese wool shawl blanket thing. Um, so I guess they're not technically my favorites, right? It was like my favorites at the time, and I was like going through a rough patch. So you go, well, it's not technically my favorite. It's probably their favorite, right? So then I was thinking about like what kind of thing I really like, and then I was like, well, I like Chanel. I like Chanel a lot. I like the makeup. I like the bags. The tweed is really nice too. I've never been to the Chanel store yet. Um, Louis Vuitton is like cool, like they have such variety though. Um, I kind of am a little bit purist. I'm like, I like the older fashions or styles. Like my grandma, I'm pretty sure my grandma had like Chanel makeup, um, like back in the day when me and my sister would like go through my grandma's drawers of like her jewelry and her makeup and like her clothes and shoes. I'm pretty sure she had like some Chanel. That's why I was attracted to it. Um, and then the and then the my friend has a couple of Louis Vuitton bags. Like she had like a computer case thing, and then like a laptop, and then I forget what style the bag that she has is, but they're both the like brown and whatever caramel colored bags, and then I really like the blue and white though. I think that's really cute and pretty. Um, because I saw a guy with that belt, I was like, new sheriff in town, really? um, and then what what other brands? Oh, I really like Dolce and Gabbana. Like some of the like super like tropical ones. I'm like I would not even wear that, but I like it. You know, it's kind of like gaudy, like in Giant Land, like the plants are like huge, you know? And but I really like their traditional campaign that they were doing with that one what's her the model. She has like the really curly hair, and she's got one of like these, but with a medallion, you know, like of the brand. Um, and the like kind of like black and red, like really tight fitting, like sexy. I really like all of that. Um, but not if I had to like wear it. Well, I'll put your clothes on. Um, and then what other brands? I think that's kind of current on what brands I've kind of like delved into like liking, you know? Like I like the Louis Vuitton and the Chanel and the Dolce and Gabbana. Um, Gucci really isn't my thread as far as I think it's just kind of I saw a Gucci bag that was um, like the ones that they're selling at Coach right now, um, or like a few months ago. And I was like, so I got a Coach bag. I got the pink one because, you know, everybody's so like, oh, I hate the color pink. Women are so annoying. Ugh. And I was like, I'm gonna get the pink bag because it will be evidence that I love the color pink. And that was another one of the like when Paris Hilton puts on her media. I was like, I love it. um, so I've been thinking about her lately because I think her sister-in-law and her actual sister are both pregnant right now, and she just got married recently. So I think it's time for her to have a baby, which my sister, my half sister, she would say like, oh, she's like 40, that's a high risk pregnancy. But my aunt had a baby at that age, and her baby is totally healthy and normal. Um, Her husband is like from India, but they had a baby and it was totally normal. Um, so yeah, I'm like, everybody needs to have a baby. My stepmom doesn't have a baby. She's weird. She had actually, oh, I told you I she had a surgery on her, I don't know, vagina. She had vagina surgery, like, on her, like, got reproductive organ removed type of thing. And one of the local women, she has one too. But she had 6 kids before she did that, right? My stepmom didn't have any kids. So I kind of am like, I need to have kids. um, like minimum 2, probably maximum like 4, maybe. That's my thoughts on the matter. I'm like 5 is like too many, 6 is very many, and more than that, it's like you might as well call it Africa. I don't know. um, well, I don't know. Actually, you know, my mom had a friend over in where she bought a house, and her friend, her parent, I think her was like one of 5, and then her husband was like one of like 14 or something. I was like, man, those Catholics sure know how to breed. Um, they're nice people, they're good people, but I don't know how to get there right now. I gotta get my own car so that I'm not getting in that fight. I hate, like, my dad, he won't let me drive his vehicles. He's like, you can't drive my car. And I'm like, huh. He tried to tell me this whole thing about the insurance. And I was like, he's lying. I even paid for insurance on the company that him and his wife are on. And I had to cancel because I was like, a 20-year-old and they're like trying to give me a life insurance policy. I'm all, say what? Isn't that for like head of household, breadwinning man? Like, so that was weird. Um, and then like this is the like living at the house with that. Oh, you can't be on my insurance. If you wanted to drive my car, you'd have to be on my insurance. I was like, oh, you're funny. Um, because he wouldn't add me to his insurance. He's like, you need to get your own policy. I'm all, okay, I'll do that. And then like I was staying with this guy that had AAA, and I think my aunt has AAA also, and my grandparents on my mom's side they have AAA, and so I started looking into the AAA, and they have different like regions, like I think because they have such high population in like California, um, I think it's like California, Nevada, and like Arizona or something. And then like it's a different policy if you're like in Oregon, Idaho, Utah. Um, so I was like, maybe I'll get a car and I'll have to bring it down here and get it insured. Because um, these people haven't been paying. I mean, that's like the evidence. Um, they're like, my $3,000 bag. And I go, that went stolen out the window. That's sad. That's depressing. I liked one of those bags. One of those bags is really cute. But when you start at the bottom, when I grew up, I lived next to the ocean, like within walking distance. Like it was like walk over the highway and then out the dunes and then there's the ocean. So I was like, I'll start at the like outlet mall where the bag's like $150. I was like, I can afford that. And then it's like $300. And then, so I got like I got a few, like, I got one from the leather store. It's not, I mean, it's a brand, but it's not like a brand, you know? It's not the commercial, it's the brand itself. It's like the commercials, it's leather, you know? Um, so like I got like one brand bag, I got one brand leather bag, then those were both from the outlet online, and then I got like one from the store at the mall, from the brand, and then, what else did I get? Oh, then my mom taught me the crocodile bag, um, which is fun because the people are like so ignorant. Like they're like, we don't like Hermes. We're gonna put bleedy Hermes gator bags on our, feed for we're activists. And I was kind of like, oh, you're gonna go lay on the ground and look fabulous with your beautiful body, and instead of like getting paid, you're just gonna like not get paid. That's annoying. Um, so when I saw that, I like put like my bag on Instagram, like, oh look, I got a bag. It's like not a Hermes bag. Um, it's from Macy's. It's a brand called Patricia Nash. Um, it's a nice bag. I'm gonna keep it. Um, oh, and then I got this one too. This is a brand. This is my bandolier. It's like super cute. I could take it anywhere. I could either like put a little bit of money or like my cards and stuff. And that's like super, because I was having this problem when I was traveling. I kept mislocating my phone. Like I'd be like, where's my phone? So I was like, here, look at this. Oh, it's attached. I can't get rid of it. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3. And then I wanted to get some stuff for like the kids, but I don't have any kids yet. So I got like a Sanrio bag, like a little backpack with Hello Kitty on it. Um, because I have Sanrio like since an early age, and that's been like Sanrio is kind of one of those brands that like it's not a European brand, you know, so it's not as like, oh, we came up with all of these ideas like independently and magically because we're made of unicorns. It's like, you know, sometimes they have really cool stuff. Like I bought like a little keychain for my bag that's a bunny rabbit, and his name's Cinnamon Roll. Cinnamon Roll. Cinnamon Roll. It's like cinnamon roll, but it's like shortened. It's like cinema roll. Um, and but he's a measuring tape. Like his neck is goes like, and I thought it was just like a little stuffed animal. Like I didn't read the blurb. Like I was like, oh, it's cinnamon roll. I want it. I like ordered it, and then I get it, and I'm like, what is going on here? And I was like, that's so cool. Cause like especially like when I'm shopping and stuff like online, like if I don't know if, like a size, if I have, cause I had it attached right here, like um, so that oh what size is that? Oh, let me measure, you know. So that's nice. And then I don't really know anything about like Givenchy, Balenciaga, Tory Burch. I think like, you know, what are the some of the other brands like Valentino. Um, I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Oh, you know, I got some fragrance from like I got a couple fragrances from um, what is it? Like a Ralph Lauren, a really nice fragrance. It was called Woman. I got that one. It's really nice. I used it all up already. And then I got Giorgio Armani. Um, it's called My Way. And that one's current. Kind of smells like sweet, like jelly beans. It smells really nice. I like it a lot. Um, I like the Gucci Bloom. I think that one's really floral. Um, it smells nice also. And that's about as much as I have like investigated um, like what is like female money, you know, like it's like all the guys, they want to be like, oh, I have all this property and in my truck and all these cars and blah blah blah, and you go, oh, I want that too. They don't care. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just like, you know, what's female money? You're like clothes, babies, cars, um, fragrance, bags, you know, what else? um, so yeah, I'm still wanting like a bunch of stuff. But first of all, I have to actually get mobility without other people like in my space, because I've been having this constant like, you know, people in my space that want something from me that I don't want to give them. Um, so it's kind of one of those where it's not really how I want things to be, but it is how they are for now. Um, it's really sad that they would break into the store in San Francisco. Um, hmm. Yep, I need to get a job so that I can get or I need to get a car so that I can get a job, so that I can feel safe in my society, because I'm not the type of person to be languishing like this. Um, it's not productive, it's not helpful, and it doesn't provide us with the things that are needed. Um, it's frustrating because you want, like, society to want the things that are created, and yet there's so many people that, like, don't even want what's already created, or they want it only to dangle it in front of you. So that's one of the things about that. Did my eyebrows. I don't think I did them evenly. I think I need to do a little bit more. Edit. Still learning. This is what living alone's like. There's nobody here to tell me, hey Muriyah, your eyebrows look uneven. I think I'm gonna let my hair just grow out for a little while because it's not paying to blonde it right now. And I know the hairdresser really likes just like a whole, like, do. I don't know. It's kind of expensive. I don't think the hairdresser knows how to do my hair technically. Maybe she does, I don't know. It's kind of like I bleached it myself and then had her like fix it, and she didn't fix it correctly, and then I was like, why didn't I like go back over there and like make her fix it? Like, here, you made it splotchy right here, can you do that for me? And it was like but then like she was like, oh, like come back and see me, blah blah blah. And then so I went back and seen her, but I didn't wait for her to do like my roots. Like I again like did them with a box of dye, and she was kind of upset at me. And I was like, but you see, it was like the tone of the color of the hair is like it wouldn't be as blonde, like it would be an orange color, and I'm like, I want it blonde. And so I'm kind of like, I think she's delusional about how to do my hair. I don't know, so I'm just leaving it alone for now because ain't nobody paying me to do my hair. It looks okay. It's just, it needs like more tending. I cut it and I shouldn't cut it. She cut it really well. She cut it once, a really like perfect haircut. Like I couldn't ask for more in life. And then the second time she was like, I'm not really in love with how I cut your hair. And then I cut my hair too. And like we both did a terrible job. So I was like, maybe I can go back to her and get her to cut it like she did the first time, because it was like a perfect haircut. Like I've never had such a perfect haircut in my life. I was like, okay. And that was awesome. So, yeah. I'm just being like these poor people out here in America that don't have any money because the government won't pay them proper jobs. The government is supposed to actually run game better than this. It's supposed to like give me a profitable job. I got a job locally at an insurance company, and they, after 3 months, did not want to employ me. And I thought that's not normal. And then they hired somebody who speaks Mexican, and I was like, guess what? If all you guys are doing is hiring Mexicans, I know that your money isn't fucking legal. Just FYI. And the girl, oh, this was the fun part. And the girl at the insurance agency, who is fucking from Mexico, has like a fucking wedding ring with a Marquise diamond. And I was like, Oh, so you have the Chanel ring that I earned in my relationship with that asshole who nobody fucking does love. And I was like, you know what? If you want to hire fucking Spanish speakers, you're not even insuring Americans. So that's the problem that we're having here. Um, it's not that we're falling out, it's that the old man is fucking redundant. Like, oh, his French mother and his Indian daughter in law and his Mexican granddaughter in law. You're like, where's your brain, dude? I went to college for that? No, I didn't. That wasn't what college was about. And I'm just like letting all of this vent right now because of, let's see, I'm 34 years old, I'm white North American, I'm heteronormative, I'm gender normative. These are all like what the people want to hear about in college, right? Like all these fucking weirdos like from the city that like don't know how to speak. And they want to tell you that the internet only costs $25 in the city. And you're like, okay, well, we have fewer people up here and the same amount of insurance. So, you know, it's like I'm paying more and getting paid less. Why? Oh, you want to hear my opinion? Then I will provide it. Because you know they don't have an opinion. They don't vote. So, still looking for my dream boat. Looking for that man in my life. What a catch. But I want to have babies, and I don't want my babies to get beat up, right? Like, I'm beat up enough. Fucking Mexicans. Bitch, please. She looks fucking Persian, dude. Like, how far did you run to a little white man just to take his wallet? Like, eh. I was with the white guy. He didn't have any money. He was like poor as fuck. He drove some little Toyota Tercel before I met him, and I was like, and then he got a different Toyota, and they had to take it away from him because he was so poor. That was disappointing. I moved to a different state after that happened. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm leaving. And that's when I stopped wearing makeup and was totally psychotic. And then I moved back and was like, I need to like get my head screwed on right. But I'm still single. I hate being single. And I don't want to fall for any of their old tricks, right? Oh, just stay with us for 10 years, then we'll marry you. I'm 34. I don't have time for that. Like, today, hello. So, this is my clock. It is ticking. This is my wedding ring finger. It is not invested in currently. I don't want creepy dudes looking at me though. That's like one of my concerns like about the internet is that there's like just creepy dudes. It's like the going to the store when I was little. It's like fucking some creepy bum like trying to ask me for $1. I'm like, no. And I don't want like those like people that I don't like, right? Like I need like somebody like myself who like wants to have white children also, because there's tons of these people like in the media lately that like have like, you know, like half Indian family, half black family, half Mexican family. And it's like when I went to South America and I like went to like I think I went to at least just one church over there, like in Lima, in the capital, where there's like millions of people, and they have like this big painting of Jesus, and like I'm the only white person with blue eyes in this entire establishment at that current moment. And I was like, that's a weird feeling, you know? Um, so I was like, yeah, I don't want to be procreating more Mexicans or more like Peruvian people like on my own body, right? Like I wanna have my white children with blue eyes, um, because that's my prerogative. Um, well, I wouldn't be mad at them if they were green eyes, but I'm working on the blue eyes right now. Um, and that came up immediately when the favored singer got married to the country singer, and he all doesn't have any children and is a blue-eyed man, and she's all, um, white with bleach blonde hair. But she like sings a song about blue eyes. Like she's like, I never kissed somebody with blue eyes before. And I was like, why is that girl so rude? Um, I like her. She's pretty. She has a nice singing career. But she already has 3 sons. And she's in her 50s. And she like looks younger than me on the TV. And I'm like, that's redundant. It's like what they do, you know? They like make you want to be all beautiful, but they don't like try to give you the resources to accomplish such. So that's annoying. So there's my 1 hour spiel about current trends and topics as I find it relevant to share ideas somewhere, because life is boring if uninteresting.